IHPA members. President Foley here again, doing another one of my vlogs here to help keep membership informed of what IHPA has on tap. Well, this one's going to be less about what IHPA has on tap and is actually a book review. Oddly enough, numerous times a year, people that write books on beekeeping will actually reach out to state organizations, and typically the presidents of those, or at least I haven't heard of any other board member getting hit up about this so far, but 3 times in the last year, I've gotten hit up for book reviews. So anyhow, this latest one is called Hive Tour. Honestly, let's pull back here a little bit. Honestly, this is going to be more of a book for the younger kids out there. I would say ages like 6 through maybe as old as 14. But for the main part here, this would be a great guide for parents that are already in beekeeping to introduce their kids into it. That's my take on it, at least. The print inside the book is ginormous. It's definitely not meant for sitting back and just reading casually. But, I mean, here. The book is literally filled with just page after page after page of photo reference of the beehives. And it kind of takes you, well, it's called a Hive Tour. It kind of jumps around a little bit because it'll start telling you a lot about observation hives, and then jumps around to the components of an observation hive, and then gets on to like regular beehives, and then gets on to actually the biology of the bees and stuff here. But these pages here, like when it's pointing out the stinger and etc., I would say that there's no real context. You would have to know a little bit about beekeeping before you could use this book effectively to then teach kids. So as long as you have had a beginner course in beekeeping, maybe kept bees for 1 year, this would be a great book then to have there and sit down in the evening and go page by page with your little ones, and it would then show you the pictures and give you a little blurb for you then to read off to them, and then you can explain it further. The book itself, it's quite nice. But again, this is really geared to introduce your younger youth into beekeeping. You try to present this to like a 15 to 25-year-old, and they're going to glance through it, and they're not going to care about it. So anyhow, that is my take on the book here. It is comprehensive. It does go through all of the things of a beehive that you could picture, all of the anatomy parts of a bee, even gets into things like royal jelly and stuff. But just go off of what I've said so far on its way of delivering, well, its way of being meant to be delivered to younger kids from a person that's already had probably a year of beekeeping. This video will be short here, just going over some future events coming up. The first thing on tap is January 28th is the next board meeting. At the board meeting there, it's our biggest one of the year. We just have so much stuff to go through. With it being the first of the year, we'll have to decide budgets for committees that are coming up, budgets for different events that are going on. We'll have to discuss some of those comment cards and suggestions that have been given to us for annual conference and summer field day. Just people put things down that they want to see changed or new things added. There's even a thing on tap this year where for annual conference, a large section of our membership works on Fridays, and to pay for conference and take a vacation day, it is oftentimes a decision where they just don't go, because that's putting too high of a price tag in a lot of people's minds for going to conference. So it's been spitballed from probably the last 5 years, maybe 10 years, of moving it to something that's a little more traditional for a event center and stuff, of a Saturday, Sunday deal. I mean, if you think about it, any event that's going to be at Wells Fargo Arena or at the Iowa Event Center, it's either Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or it's a Saturday, Sunday event. You don't see a lot. There are some, but you don't see a lot that are Friday, Saturday, just because you shoot yourself in the foot for the Friday crowd. So many people have to work Fridays. So that's on tap. We have to vote on district map changes, because that was ratified at annual conference, that we will be switching from the old district map that was based on population densities and voting. I can't even tell you the exact date, but I want to say it's 20, 30 years old is the map that it's based off of. So we're going to be setting up the new map. Our new legislation goals for this coming year. We lobby and donate money to legislation to go ahead and have rules changed for the betterment of Iowa beekeepers. And we just need to lay out some of our goals for this year and see what items are most important to us to try to push through legislation. And lastly here, well, not lastly, I know there's several things I didn't even write down on the list here, but we're going to be taking a look at some of our discontinued old programs that maybe got dropped 30 years ago. You have a more involved board. You have people willing to do more work, more time. We have more volunteers. So with us having the additional manpower resources and the budget looking pretty darn good, because we now manage it a lot better, it affords us the ability to add more programs, either new ones or go back to some of them that we just didn't have the resources for, either time-wise or money-wise, and dust them off and put them back out there for you guys. Let's see here. After the January 28th meeting, the next thing coming up here is Honeybee Day on March 16th. That will be at 7 a.m. at the Capitol Building in the Rotunda. That's basically, you go into the Capitol Building, go up one floor, the big central area there, that's where we'll be. Come with an appetite, because there's always a buffet going on there. Of, let's see, last year there was breakfast burritos, as well as like 20 different hors d'oeuvres and snacks. There was honey lemonade, there was coffee, there's a slew of stuff there. And I would imagine it would be the same this year, if not better. And after that, our next event is Summer Field Day, and that will be coming June 17th, and it will be in Clarion, Iowa at the Red Shed. I'm not familiar with that venue, but those of you that live in the Clarion area, you probably are. But anyhow, that is what's on tap for IHPA, and thank you again for tuning into my vlogs, and feel free to email me with any of your questions. Thank you.